Hey, it's Joe here, and welcome to the next episode of Ugly Planes. Well, this plane is actually not too ugly. I'm actually pretty proud of it. I put a little more attention into making it a little prettier. It's still pretty ugly. This plane is very functional. It houses all kinds of cameras. I can fly with any of my action cameras, any of my GoPros, my Sony Action Cam. Also can even fly with the new Samsung 360 camera. Pretty good wingspan. It's a 70-inch wingspan. The fuselage is mostly wood. There's a little bit of foam compositing right here. I got the mounts here. I have a bar stock nylon where I've got it tapped out to secure the wing. So it's pretty much all wood up until the very tip. This is a plywood here because I want to make something. I want to make sure this part was very sturdy because when I hang a couple $100 for the cameras, I want to make sure they don't fall off. With this, I can mount it underneath, and this has worked out really nicely for the 360 camera. I got a little bit of a nose modification. This is very sophisticated piece of foam with rubber band. Very high-tech solution. Maybe a little overkill, but you know me, all about perfection, right? And this is my hump for my regular cameras. So my action camera, of course, will become a lot more aerodynamic having this, because with aerodynamics, the trailing edge is more important to have that nice slope than the leading edge having a nice aerodynamic shape. So trailing edge is always more important than the leading edge. Obviously having both is ideal. I've got a magnet secure, so that stays on pretty tight. Haven't had any trouble. The wing will be at this section here. I've got this one, which is also this has got a pin here. The wing, well, this actually does snap on. Forgot I didn't have a magnet. So this does have a magnet, but the wing kind of holds it in place anyways. Actually, I get my GPS sensor. I'm going to be putting an autopilot in there, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to have all this access in here, because I want to be able to use this as an experimental plane. I've got an airspeed sensor already installed, and I'll probably put the autopilot module somewhere. I've got plenty of room for my battery compartment, so I have a lot of room to put different size batteries, and depending on the balance, I can move the batteries backwards and forwards. So I've got lots of room there. I can also take back the tail section. So I've got 2 servos for my elevator. I got little 9-gram servos there. I got a larger servo metal gear for the rudder, since I do have the tail wheel. I want to make sure that that servo doesn't strip out, so I got a nice sturdy servo there. The tail section is really sturdy. In fact, I was really surprised how lightweight this ended up being, considering how beat up it is. This is all wood through here, balsa wood and basswood. I got carbon fiber leading edges for the tail section, and there's also carbon fiber spars going through the middle there. In fact, you can kind of look a little bit. You can kind of see through it. Just very thin 3mm foam, so very thin foam form. The trailing edge of the control surfaces are, I think these are foam, and I think this one is wood. So I think this is balsa for the rudder. I wanted to make sure I had a decent sized rudder in case I do lose a motor. Some yaw control in case something happens. I was pretty impressed with the plane. Like I said, I did try to pay a little more attention to make it kind of pretty, but it's still pretty ugly. The wing section houses almost everything else. I mean, I got the motors, ESCs, landing gear, all that. These are done like a little pod. So I did the landing gear and the ESC motor mount and all that as a pod. Attached it to the wing. I've also got lights, navigation lights. So you got front lights, side lights, everything you need to do night flying. I have independent servos for the flaps, so that way I do have a little bit of a mix with the ailerons, particularly whenever the flaps are up. So that way, if I want to do some hard banks, I have a little bit more aileron control. The wing section is almost entirely foam. It's all covered in monocoat. Monocoat makes foam wings much stronger. I think I do have some carbon fiber spars going through here, and I think I have a wooden, a basswood strip from here to here. In fact, you can kind of see it there. And there's a basswood strip on the top here to help make sure that the screws don't penetrate through the foam, because foam is strong but it's soft, so screws can often have problems. So I've got these with some very, very thin birch plywood there. I think all the control surfaces on the wing are balsa. I've got nice big oversized wheels so I can land in rough areas, grassy fields and dirt roads and things like that. So having that nice big landing gear makes a big difference. The flaps are all Metal Gear here, and I've also got Metal Gear servos for the ailerons as well. Put together pretty easily. One of my big pet peeves about removable wing airplanes is trying to find out which plugs into where. You have to label them or whatever. So I just did a header fitting. Like, I just do a header. You kind of distributes the power. So I have all the controls and all that. So I have everything plugged into this board, and I got this header that goes out to the other side of the plane, the fuselage. You see there. So I have a little pin there, so that way it polarizes it, so I don't switch it around accidentally and try to plug it in backwards, because it probably wouldn't be pretty. Not sure what would happen, but it would not be my favorite, I guarantee it. So all I gotta do is just plug it in and everything's connected. The screws, screw in through here. They screw into to these holes here with the nylon. Nylon's threaded, so the nylon screws thread into that block, and got some nice thick threads there for it to grab into good, and that makes it pretty sturdy. The wing is not going to remove. I mean, it's if the wing removes from the fuselage, there's probably not a fuselage left, and vice versa. So I'm not too worried about that. I've been really impressed with the plane. I will have to say it just like a lot of my planes. I just start off with some foam and just start thinking, okay, let me just start measuring and forming, and I didn't really plan this out. I kind of had a few stick figure drawings, if you want to call them that, on a whiteboard, and kind of play with some ideas. But I end up just started building the plane. I had a little bit of idea. I first started making the motor pods, and then from there I made the wing, and then from there I made the fuselage. So it was an interesting build. Had fun doing it. I can give you guys some rough measurements if you're curious on reproducing my plane. I can give you where the center of gravity is and some basic ideas. But as far as all the measurements of all the parts, I can probably give you some extra pictures. But unless I get a lot of requests, you have to figure it out yourself, because I don't have any measurements. Like I said, I just started building the plane. Well, I hope this clarified some stuff as far as how I built this plane, and hope that you enjoy the video. Hope it inspired you to build your own ugly plane. This was a pretty lengthy build. Probably one of the longest builds I've ever had for a plane. So can't tell you that it's going to be an easy build to do your own. But if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you want some sort of video that maybe goes in more detail, or you want to talk about a different plane, you want me to build something cool, different, whatever, just let me know. I think we had some people make some unusual requests for building materials, so I might do a video soon for trying to make a plane out of cardboard or something like that. I'll accept the challenge, but if otherwise, just sit back and relax, because I should have some new videos coming out soon, and we'll have some new episodes of Ugly Planes. So this is Joe, and keep flying.